Yo, what up? It's your boy Kano Giovanni back with my second video specifically for the Grand Theft Auto 5 Online Act 2 B2B $1 million glitch for PS4. This video is specifically designed for new players who are not familiar with the glitch, so hopefully after watching this you'll become a lot better and more confident in your gameplay. Also, this video is specifically for the air team, which means you will be running the Avenger and receiving the $1 million. Alright, let's get started. First and foremost, please remind your host that at the beginning, they are required to switch the game difficulty from normal to hard. If they fail to do so, you will not receive $1 million. You will only receive about $800,000. So that's very critical. So please remind them, and let's get started. As you see here, we are leaving the Paleto Bay facility, and there are a couple ways to run this when you're running the air team. First and foremost, you have to have a watercraft. I suggest you order your own watercraft through your in-game phone, either a speedboat or the Sea Shark, whatever, but don't rely on the system to spawn a watercraft because it only spawns about half the time. That's why I tell everyone, just don't be cheap, just go out and buy a watercraft, okay? Now, between the time you leave the Paleto Bay facility, which we're doing now, and the time you get to the Avenger, you should call Pegasus and order your watercraft, okay? Now at that point, you can do it 3 different ways. Some players will basically order their watercraft on the way there and then take their personal vehicle and drive directly to where their watercraft spawns and never even go near the Avenger and leave it parked right where it is. And that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that.
Hello, you're
The
through
reason
to
they
Pegasus
do
Lifestyle
that because they
Management. How can I
claim
help?
that they never get shot at when they're
Great.
bringing
Sir,
the other
I'm
player
happy to
back to the
say it's
Avenger,
now ready
which is
for you at
fine.
our
You can
nearest
do that.
harbor.
There's nothing wrong with that. The other way, that's the way I do it, is I will call Pegasus, order my watercraft, which you just saw me do. It'll spawn it on the mainland, but on the north side of the peninsula, and then I'll come down here, pick up the Avenger, and fly it down to the beach where my watercraft is and park next to it. Now there's no right or wrong way to do this. If you want to leave the Avenger parked right where it is, that's perfectly fine too. I've been ran by a guy who does that, and every time we finish out, I always end up getting a platinum at the very end of the glitch. But this is the way I particularly do it, because I don't like, because if you leave your Avenger way up there, keep in mind when you pick up the guy from the submarine, you have to drive all the way back to up there too, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal. But what I do is I call for my watercraft, call Pegasus. It spawns it right here, as you see, off the mainland, north side of the peninsula, and then I park the Avenger right where I did, right next to my watercraft. Now at this point, you need to get in and go out and wait for your teammate. The other way you can do it is you can call out for your watercraft and then park the Avenger right on the tip of that peninsula right there, which is also fine. I used to do that, but I stopped doing that because every time I picked up my partner and went back to the tip of the peninsula, the helicopters would shoot at us and sometimes, on rare occasion, kill us. So I stopped doing that. So now I park the Avenger right where my watercraft spawns off the mainland on the north side of the peninsula. Now, you see on your mini map where that little icon is? It's got the round circle on the bottom and the arrow on the top. That's basically where your partner's going to rendezvous with the submarine. Once you get your watercraft, you need to come out about this far and wait right there. That's a good waypoint or marker where you should be waiting for him to run through the cutscene and run through the submarine. The reason I tell players to come all the way out this far is because you're far enough out here that the helicopters won't come out and try to chase you and shoot at you when you're this far out. So come out here to this point, find the little marker, dock your boat or whatever, and basically just wait for your partner to run through the cutscene and resurface. One thing I did fail to mention that I should have mentioned at the very beginning of this video, all these little captions that instruct you what to do throughout this heist glitch, just ignore that, okay? When you're running the air team, just ignore all those captions. You don't have to do that, okay? Your primary goal here is to basically acquire a watercraft, come out here, wait for your partner to run through the cutscene and the submarine, then pick him up and return him to the Avenger, and then fly the Avenger to the hangar, okay? And I will tell you, if you're the type of player who's too lazy to acquire a watercraft and come out to pick up your teammate to bring him back to the Avenger, you're really a half-assed player and really shouldn't even be running this glitch at all. There's no reason why your teammate should have to resurface from leaving the sub and swim all the way back to the beach. Because at that point, there's a good chance he's going to die. Because those helicopters will see him, they'll start shooting bullets at him, and he'll probably most likely die. And then it'll just screw your entire glitch up. So just don't be lazy. Get a watercraft, come out here, wait for him, pick him up, take him back to the Avenger. So you both can safely return without anyone dying. As I mentioned in the other video, this cutscene lasts about 3 or 4 minutes. At the very end, you will hear Lester yell something like, "I think you both better get out of here." At that point, you know the cutscene is done. And here it is what I'm talking about. Okay, once you hear that part, you know the cutscene is done. At that point, a good player will proceed to slowly head back to the peninsula, at which point you'll go start looking at your mini-map for that round circle with the X in it. Proceed to that point because that's exactly where your partner is going to resurface after exiting the submarine. So go to that point, be prepared to pick him up. There he is. Pick him up. At that point, take him back to wherever you parked the Avenger. If you parked your Avenger on the beach, take him back there. If you never left or moved the Avenger, take him back to your personal vehicle, get in your personal vehicle, drive back to where the Avenger is parked, load up, and then head to the hangar. And that's all that pretty much amounts to. See, there's those 2 jet skis there. Those usually spawn with the system, but half the time they don't even show up. So that's why I tell everyone, just, don't be cheap. Go buy your own watercraft. Call Pegasus and order it. So at this point, we're loading back in the Avenger. As you can see, none of the helicopters ever shot at me. I've never been shot at. In all the times I've parked the Avenger there, I've never been one shot at. And once you take off, they might start shooting you, but I've never been shot and killed trying to get back to the Avenger at that point. Also, with the Avenger, you have to wait so long to get in the air before you tilt the rotors, okay? Once you get in the Avenger, you take off and you try to tilt the rotors immediately, you'll probably crash and stall out, okay? So get at least above the treetops before you try to tilt the rotors. And to do that, you just press right on the direction pad. At that point, with you both loaded in the Avenger, fly back to the LSI hangar. And all you have to do at that point is land it. The host will take care of everything else. Or should anyway. Yeah, the role of the air team is pretty easy. It's pretty cut and dry, so it's not real hard. So here we are coming into the airport at LSIA right now. And all you're basically responsible for doing is safely parking the Avenger inside the Devon Weston hangar. You don't have to worry about closing out because that's the role of the host, which you are not. And that's pretty much it.
You're almost here, okay? Just bring it on home. This is gonna be a depressing conversation, all right?
You want to kind of park it right where those two squares are, right in the middle there. And you're done. Your job is done. You safely landed the Avenger. You're going to get your $1 million. And that's it. Rinse and repeat after that. Hope this helped everyone. Anyone who's new to this or not quite clear as what to do on the air team. Don't forget to smash the like button. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.
He has control of all your systems.
We can't even call out for help.
Then you can do exactly what you have to. You have my authority.
And we'll get paid?
Paid?
Yeah, call it a pension contribution.
Of course, significant ones.
All right, then get this clown out of here. For all I know, you're bugged all to high hell and you don't even know the bugs exist.
Good luck.
We don't need luck. I always wanted to say that between us, we are completely fucked. Meet me back at the facility. I'll be in contact when I have a plan.